hey guys, the context for the teaching is growing. It's really amazing. I mean, the freedom that I'm experiencing in other people from this is next level. And I just want to express it, and I have been. But I want to tell you that teaching on camera is not where I'm feeling it. Like right now, I just went from a podcast and my equipment set up here, just go straight to an audio for you guys. The podcast is where I'm really coming into my own as a teacher, I think. Like finding my voice fully and pointing people. We've got a hell of a methodology now with great skills, and we have a good context. And I feel like and that's not an ego thing. That's just feeling good about what we're doing. And people will say, well, why do you... Look, so many people are in repression. You don't even know what it's like to like yourself or to really appreciate your experience and welcome it. So I'm here to tell you, when you do this work, appreciate your experience in your life, and I want to share it with people. I want to share this freedom with people, even if it turns some people off. Okay, so how do you do that? How do you get what you need here now? Well, you don't come to YouTube long videos normally, because I'm not giving it that way. I'm actually, if you want the deep context, that's podcast. So I would suggest that you go to like Spotify or some podcast platform and follow my podcast so that you receive it, because every one that I usually release them like on Mondays each week. Every one is some sort of, how do I say this? Expounding on a really important aspect of suffering. Like today is, the one I released today is approval seeking, the greatest human addiction. Like that topic, you've probably never heard it talked about like this before, because I'm tying it directly to repression. And then I did a podcast last week called How Do You Know You're Really Free, which has a different energy. You listen to it, you can feel that I'm in a different place, and I'm hopefully pointing very clearly to how do you know? What do you look for? And then next week, if all goes well, which is the one that I'm recording right now, is all your suffering is connected to one thing. So the context is getting really simple here, much, much simpler. And the skills are really simple, actually. And those of us coming out of repression see how simple it is. And it's important for us to communicate it, because the nervous system overcomplicates everything. And I want you guys to understand that the freedom in this work comes from making conscious, essentially, two programs. If you're an angry repressor, I'm angry, but I can't express it. So much of your suffering comes from that. For a hurt repressor, I'm hurt, but I can't feel and express it. That's how simple the work is learning how to make that conscious skillfully. But what your system will do is try to go to any other place that it can, because it's trying to keep you safe from that buried stuff. And it's trying to get you love and approval from others by identifying with something false coming from the repression. Like, I'm good, or I'm whatever. My whole point is I've just like had, this is the time for this work. It feels like this is the hour for us to step forward, because the words are coming so much easier. It's being simplified. We're watching people get free. That's the thing that's really motivating me. I'm watching people reflect back to me that years of chronic pain are gone. Gastrointestinal issues, depression, all sorts of things. That gives me this sort of, I don't know what it is, because I know that freedom. I've experienced it myself. So when I see other people experiencing it, it just makes me want to come on here and be as clear as I can be in this topic to help you. And that's what I'm doing. So you're going to see me go onto shorts on YouTube, because I feel like it's a fun thing for me to try to fit in 1 minute a topic and try to explain it to people who might not do the repression work yet. And I'm kind of pulling away from the long videos, except I'm doing an advanced guided meditation series, which includes meditation and second dimension inquiry. So there's about 6 of those coming out. You'll see those on my channel. They have the Natural Recovery from Suffering banner on them. But besides that, every now and then I'm doing a long video. It's the podcast. So if you're resonating with this work, go to the podcast and follow me, because I'm just not going to explain it here fully on YouTube. It will not be explained. The shorts will explain it in sound bites. The podcast is the full you know, expression of the context of the work. The members area is where we do the work. And the members area is growing, and we're changing that to make it even better, actually more supportive for people. All that's happening right now. I'm just excited to let you know. I mean, we can feel the buzz. You know, it's picking up now. I mean, all of our social media is just green arrows going up because people are engaging more across all platforms. Like, I'm on about 15 podcast platforms. There are people coming to this work who never heard it before. And we can see that, you know, through our analytics. So I can feel the energy of that people are looking for a new way, that they didn't get the freedom they were looking for with the meditation or mindfulness, or they didn't fully embody that, and they're ready, or they just tried different things out there. They weren't interested in awakening, but nothing really worked. And people are coming here because it works. Not to say that there are things out there that don't work. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we know that this does. It gets to the root. Not much else to say because I'm not using YouTube to explain the teaching. I just want to tell you where the teaching is. And then I'm going to say one more thing. What you're going to see on social media, with me, it looks like I'm promoting, and I am. And I have no problem with that. So let me explain something, because I just want you to see this, because I know there's a lot of anger repressors who would like to express and be creative in their world, in their life, but they can't. I'm telling you, anger repression and other repression is the key. Because all my life, I should have been promoting this work. I don't buy into anymore at all the false humility that came from that whole awakening story, where it's like enlightened people are not supposed to do this or that, or if you're awake, you're not supposed to. That's bullshit. That's all conformity. And my ego was this thing that held back my expression, and I would never have self-promoted because my ego said, well, I want to be good. I want you guys to approve of me. So if I go and promote a bunch of places, then you're not going to approve of me, because enlightened people don't do that. That's ridiculous. That was my repression holding me back. So now that that's not there, I don't really care what y'all think. I'm just out there talking, trying to reach more people, you know, and I don't know how that lands on you. Some people don't like to see that sort of where you see a short and I'm saying, go to therepressiontest.com and start. But I don't care. I just don't. Because the way that I was doing this before, I was not connecting with my audience truly. I mean, the people that were coming here, 70,000 people on Facebook, 8,000 or 9,000 on YouTube, whatever. The podcast has the most now. I wasn't engaging because I had repression. Now, when you see me talking to you, I'm definitely promoting the work. I'm also engaging with you, and I'm telling you there's freedom here. I'm a human. You're a human. Let's be free. You know, just don't have any problem with it. It's weird to be able to do that late in my teaching, to be able to come on and just have no shame around wanting people to do the work and saying whatever, like, it's just freedom. And if it hits you wrong, it hits you wrong. Process it. Right? Because just because you found the work doesn't mean that other people should be deprived of that. That's all I'm doing, is trying to reach those people. So, but if you're already doing the work, just ignore the shorts unless they're just entertaining for you. They might help you, of course, with context. Instead, go to podcast. Go there and stay there, because the full teaching is there. Thank you all.